Hello and welcome to Well-Tempered Tips. Today I'm going to be looking at the tab key, how it can be used and how it can also cause problems. I'm in Word at the moment and I've got a document with indents in each paragraph. The best way to do this is to go into your normal style. You can set it up to modify, come down to format. If you go down to paragraph, you can set the first line to be indented by whatever you want. That's not actually what I've done here. Instead, I'm going to turn on my paragraph mark and you can see that there's an arrow there, which means that I've used the tab key. This isn't the best way to do things because it can cause formatting problems when you try to publish something. To demonstrate this, I'm going to go over to Kindle Create, where I've loaded up the same document. I've got indents for each of the paragraphs like before. But if I come down to the indents here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. You'll see that it's currently set to 0. And that means that I can't make the indents any smaller at the moment. And you might want to with something like a Kindle ebook. There's another problem. If I apply a drop cap, which is the big first letter that you often see at the beginning of chapters, I'm going to zoom out again. And not only has it not put a drop cap in, it's also made 3 lines here, which looks a bit strange. The reason it's done this is because it's actually tried to drop cap the tab key, and as that's invisible, we can't see anything. What I can do is delete it, and that then gives me the drop cap. But that's a little bit of a pain if you can avoid it, especially if you've got, let's say, a 100,000 word document with 36 chapters, and you've got to do that with every single one. You can also do that with each of the things below and then set your indents to be bigger. But again, that's a real pain if you've got to do that for every single chapter. So if you can set it up before it goes into something like Kindle Create or whatever you're using to create your ebook, it's going to be a lot quicker. However, there are uses for the tab key, and it's mainly to get around the document. Let's say that I'm searching for something and my cursor's all the way over here and I want to look at results rather than headings. I can use the tab key to cycle between things. Now I've got headings, I can go between the different options. It's also useful for the same sort of thing. Let's say I'm doing a find and replace and I don't want to bother going up here because I'm really lazy. I can again just tab, go to replace with. I can even go down to the more and go between all these. For some reason, if I wanted to select any of these, I have to press spacebar rather than enter, which feels a bit weird to me, but that's how Word's set up. The other thing I tend to use the tab key for, I'm going to come over to this document where I've got a bullet point, and let's say I go down and I don't want another bullet, I want a sub-bullet. I could come up and indent, but again, not the longest task in the world, but it does take a couple of seconds, and instead I can just use the tab key and I've got a sub-bullet. I can even do it again and make another one. Those are the main things that I use tab for, really. And it can take a bit of getting used to, but it can increase your efficiency. You know, if you had 200 lists in your document and all of them had sub-bullets, then that's quite a big time saving. So I hope that's been useful, and I'll be back soon with another well-tempered tip.